Ito. Ito. Body Gansenya, Agribusiness, how it works. Sir Bimsy. This is Alex from Pinoy How To, my daughter.
Oh, hi, very good to meet you. Oh, your daughter. Introduce you to our CEO.
Okay. Hello, sir. Body po, sir. Okay naman po.
Malapit na. March, bigyan namin.
March
Doon
is
sa
greenhouse.
greenhouse. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ikaw lang ang magkaka-exclusive doon.
Oh,
Please, sir,
wow.
please. I'm excited.
His daughter.
So we have two channels actually, Agribusiness and Pinoy How To.
Pinoy
So
How To.
Pinoy How To has 500,000 subscribers also.
Wow, galing ah. Taking your footsteps, ah. I should subscribe.
Pwede tayo mag-interview, sir.
Yes.
Opo. Si Sophia po, daughter ko po ulit. Opo, sir.
Saan niyo gusto yung hindi maingay?
Yeah, possible ba, sir? Yung medyo hindi maingay masyado.
Holding room.
Okay.
Sige pa.
I'll follow.
Sige, sir.
Sige.
Sige, sir.
Thank you, ah. You came here.
Gusto mo bang matuto ng agribusiness, crops, livestock and poultry, aquaculture, at ma-inspire sa mga success stories? Agribusiness, how it works! As a YouTube channel, Agribusiness features entrepreneurs, farmers, organizations, OFWs, investors. However, beyond our usual content and official endorsements, Agribusiness does not engage in other business dealings with them. While our viewers and featured individuals and entities may choose to pursue business deals with each other on their own, we encourage them to be cautious in doing so.
Tuloy pa rin paghahanap namin din ng
Iba pang ventures.
yeah.
Wow.
But so far we have this. We have our greenhouse.
Yes po.
Sa Bulacan, 3.5 hectares. Pinaplano na yung next phase na maging 7 hectares siya.
Malaki na yun actually.
Nakakalula pag nakita mo. Ang laki talaga. Yan. Sa dairy naman, we have that farm in Bukidnon. 1,000 cows.
Wow.
Maraming Bukidnon.
And also in Batangas ba?
In
sir?
Laguna.
In Laguna.
Currently, yan, sa Laguna, we have mga 300 heads. So, doon nanggagaling yung Carmen's Best.
Yeah.
Ice cream, milk. Of course, may partner farmers din. Kanina, nandito din sila.
Oh, I see.
Kasi siguro 50% of our requirement sa kanila namin kinukuha.
Oh, I see.
So, nakakatulong din sa farmers kasi it gives them a ready market. So ito, there'll be several flavors. Merong choco milk, may whole milk, may low fat, may salted caramel. Ito na si...
Sir.
The floor is open up for your questions.
We're very focused first on dairy. I think it's a very difficult industry to be in, as I mentioned. There's still a lot of room for us to improve, not only for existing products, but for new products. Again, we have formulations already for yogurt, which we will launch when the time comes. We have cheeses, butter, creams, and many, many more. No? Yeah, so today, kasi when we started, so we bought Carmen's Best, diba, in Laguna.
2018?
That was 2021. July of 2021. I should know, I was there. So the whole of Luzon was being served by Laguna. And ang problema sa ice cream is okay, because it's a frozen product, which is fine. And we used to ship also to Visayas, Mindanao, even as far as Bacolod, and even Mindanao for the ice cream. What holiday is that in Mindanao where they cannot eat?
Ramadan.
Ramadan. In Ramadan, our Muslim brothers used to eat only ice cream during Ramadan. So we actually were able to ship there now. But for fresh milk, it's a different story. Kasi fresh nga, there's a limited shelf life. Today we've done 7 days, but the maximum is 10. And we're still continuously improving it. But it doesn't make sense for us to ship fresh milk from Laguna all the way to Visayas and Mindanao. No? So the Bukidnon property is envisioned to be correct. We're going to produce our Carmen's Best ice cream and also Carmen's Best fresh milk products right in Bukidnon, and the distribution will be Visayas, Mindanao.
Why in Bukidnon though?
That is where we found one of the largest dairy facility. It was already existing. It's called Universal Harvester Dairy Farm Incorporated. They had 1,000 cows. Carmen's Best, we only had
600.
300 in the beginning. So there was 1,000 already there. And we just have to make sure that what we produce in terms of protocols in Laguna is the same in Bukidnon. So the expansion opportunities in Bukidnon is immense. It's about 410 hectares of property. So if the demand is there and we need to double the herd, we can always do it in Bukidnon. One of the things that we have to make sure is cleanliness, from the source all the way to processing, to make sure that all of our microbial tests are done from a quality assurance perspective. It is a no-no for us to release a product without having passed the QA standards that we have put forth. At the existing state, most likely it will get to the supermarket shelf na 5 days na lang because of the transportation. So it's a challenge, no? But what we've seen is that when we put in a shelf, ubos lahat eh. And then when the consumers get 1 liter, for example, in my own household, 1 day pa nga lang, ubos na eh. No? So it's managing that. Kasi it's a very complicated cold chain process, not only from us, even to the supermarket, kailangan may cold chain yan. Pagdating sa sa bahay, kailangan may cold chain yan. And there's a certain temperature that is maintained. That being said, we are not stopping because we are now looking at new technologies on how we can prolong shelf life. To that point, our Barista Fresh, which is intended for coffee shops, surprisingly, hindi naman surprisingly, but we're very happy, we've been able to achieve 10 days. Although 3 days na nadagdag mo, that's actually more than 30% increase in shelf life. So, with our partners from Israel, in our joint venture, we are now looking at other technologies on how we can prolong it. Madali lang naman i-prolong actually. There's ultra high heat, ultra UHT, which is ultra high temperature. Yan yung mga 1 year. In other words, lutuin natin yung milk, sunugin natin, sunog lahat ng nutrients, sunog lahat ng bacteria. 1 year shelf life, but you don't get the nutrients that we want from fresh. The second stage is ESL, or extended shelf life, lower temperature, but you still also lose a little bit of the nutrients, but it's still meron pa rin ng konti. That's about 21 days. But from Carmen's Best perspective of where we play today, we want to focus on fresh because we want the consumers to really get the most benefit from the products that we sell.
How would Carmen's Best product be different from those that are already in the market? Aside from the fact that it's 100% fresh.
Well, that's exactly it. It's 100% fresh and it's 100% local. As far as us truly believing that the next generation of consumers and even the adults and Gen Xers like me, they deserve fresh. And so, from our cows in Laguna and Bukidnon, doing all of the heavy lifting and hard work in herd management and quality control and processing to make sure that we provide them the fullness of the nutrition, clean, healthy, even the taste is different. Try a fresh bottle of milk versus whatever you're referring to, and you will notice the difference, whether it's in a cold or warm glass of milk or the delicate foam that you put in your espresso or cappuccino. You will see really the difference between fresh milk and something that, as Jovy says, you burn and it stays on the shelf for a very long time. That is the difference.
But maybe to clarify also, no? Let me put it very straight. No? I mean, these other companies are reputable companies, and we're not here to compete with them. We're just saying that the 99% of the dairy demand of this country are all imported.
Yeah.
We're only 1%. That's not correct in my view. So if we can increase the local production, ergo help the local farmers as well. We also work with local corn farmers. So every time you buy a Carmen's Best milk product, you think to yourself, this is 100% local, I'm helping the local Filipino farmers, and I'm helping the local dairy industry. Then that should be simply it. We're not here to compete on who is better from a dairy perspective. That's not the objective.
Sir,
Yes.
you mentioned 99% of our milk requirement in the Philippines is imported.
Yes.
And that was for the longest time, ganun
Yes.
ang nangyayari. Is that the reason why you entered this business?
That's also one of the reasons why we've entered, because the trade imbalance is too bad. In fact, ang joke ko nga sa ND administrator, nag-improve na tayo, hindi na tayo 1%, 2% na.
Sa Manila 1.5.
Oh, yeah, something like that. But again, the upside is so large.
Yeah.
Diba? And on a personal note, I would want my children and my children's children to drink the best product out there, which is fresh.
Ano po sir yung plan ninyo? Up to how many percent yung kaya nyong increase as far as the
Yeah.
production is concerned?
Yeah. Tricky question. All we know is that based on our forecasts for the investments that we've made so far, which is in Carmen's Best in Laguna,
Yeah.
which is Bukidnon, a universal harvester, and also we're building the largest integrated dairy facility in the country in Laguna, also with the Israelis, our LR group. Our forecast is by 2026, we will be self-sufficient in terms of milk supply for the demand that we are seeing. And that's roughly about 25% of the local dairy production.
So what's our production? What's the company's production target for this year? Dairy.
This year, ano ba?
In terms of
Liters.
liters,
Yes, sir.
probably more than almost 2 million. Almost. Siguro I'm trying to compute now. No? So mga 2 million liters of milk.
Is that higher than last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
significant.
When we started, we were about 250,000 liters. Today, we already surpassed the 1
more than
million
double
mark
na.
last year.
Sir, ano yung biggest challenges so far?
So the first challenge when we started was milk supply. So because we had very limited milk supply, the natural thing for us to do is to double the herd. So mas maraming baka, mas maraming gata. Step 1, done. When you now take a look at the demand forecast, especially based on the growth that we've experienced last year, it was a testament that the Filipino, yes, is interested in fresh milk products. Our ice cream is now 3x of what we were before. Distribution network is now 6x when we started. So there is clamor. So the second challenge is how do we increase now the yield? O sige, meron kang 2,000 na yung baka mo, but if they're still producing 10 liters per cow per day, then you're still limited. That's where our partnership with the Israelis come in, because they're the ones who are the experts in the dairy side around the world. And I've seen it myself. I went to Papua New Guinea, went to their dairy facility in Papua New Guinea. Same climatic conditions as the Philippines. It's a smaller market than the Philippines, but they were doing 40 liters per cow per day. So sabi namin, simple lang naman to eh. What are you guys doing in Papua New Guinea? Why can't we do it in the Philippines? So that was the whole hypothesis of the partnership with the LR Group. Let's bring the technology here. So we've doubled the herd. We want to double the yield. Actually, the forecast, we will hopefully get to tripling the yield. No? And then last but not the least, the challenge on microbiology. Kasi ang kalaban mo dito, invisible eh. Bacteria, no? And that's part of the distribution challenge. So if we're able to address that and be able to increase the shelf life even a little bit more, I think that will be night and day in terms of distribution.
Aside from Laguna and Bukidnon,
Yes.
are you going to establish more farms in other areas?
So far, not at the near future. Again, as I mentioned, the 2 facilities that we have, we think will make us self-sufficient in terms of raw milk supply by 2026. And at the same time, we also work naman with local dairy farmers. So some of the dairy farms here that are smaller, we also buy the raw milk from them. So it's a nice ecosystem of sorts na helping each other. Pati nga corn farmers, we now partner. Kasi one of the things to increase the yield of the cows is nutrition, proper nutrition. It can't be that you'll just let the cows go and graze and eat all the grasses that they want. That's fine, but do they get the right nutritional value for them to produce the best quality and the most amount of milk? So we now produce our own silage working with corn farmers. So tidbit information, one cow eats 30 kilos of corn every single day.
Yeah.
So if we have 2,000 cows times 30 kilos, ilan po yun? Times 365 days. Ang dami nun. So we not only do we now work with corn farmers, we're now studying establishing our own commercial scale corn plantation to be able to ensure that we provide the right nutrition for cows.
Sir, you mentioned you're getting milk from smaller farms. Paano nyo mini-maintain yung quality in such a way na papasok sa standard
Sure.
nyo?
So we do have those standards set in place before we buy any milk from the farmer. We test for fat content. There should be no dilution. Ibig sabihin, meron kasi dating practice na linalagyan ng water para dumami. No? So we catch that. And at the same time, we now work with these farmers. We sometimes provide extension services, meaning, ano bang ginagawa namin sa farm namin para tumaas din yung yield ninyo na kami lang naman bibili. So it becomes a very complementary partnership with everybody. And at the end of the day, it's not, again, as we mentioned, it's not about just Carmen's best profitability. It's really about uplifting the local dairy industry.
Yeah.
So
How
you
many
recently-
partner farmers now?
Dami na
Yeah, sir.
If you, pag pinagsama mo yung corn farmers tsaka dairy farmers, halos 39 yata, 40 parang.
And how many heads yung dairy nila per farm?
We work with companies with 50, 100, 200. Yeah.
So you recently met with the National Dairy Authority. Is the company looking to partner with the NDA on
Yes.
future projects?
Yes,
Like
definitely.
what, sir?
Well, part of the agenda of the NDA, if I understood it correctly from the good administrator, is that as a country they want to increase the herd size, total herd size of the Philippines on a dairy perspective. So we want to partner with them. In fact, the new facility that we are building in Laguna with the Israelis is so high-tech and so nice that we are pitching to the government that it becomes the natural quarantine facility of all cows that will be imported from other country entering the Philippines. Diba? So dun pa lang, there's a partnership already that could be made. I know that the NDA wants to establish stock farms within the country. I think their end intention, I think, is every region will have one. So, of course, with the private sector, if we can help in some of those areas, we will be willing. Because again, it's part and parcel of uplifting the whole industry.
And sir, of course, this is a premium milk.
Yes.
And then, is there a plan to have a lower price segment for masses, perhaps? Or not yet?
Commercial should.
I think we will provide what we call SKUs that will be accessible. So you have a 1 liter bottle of fresh whole milk, low fat, chocolate, etc. But you will also have a 300 ml sizable thing, sizable SKU that will be less than 100 pesos. So meron naman, there's it's for everyone naman.
Sir, I saw your video. Ang ganda. May plans pa for agri-farm tourism or something like that?
Mag-debate na nga kami dyan eh. Parang edutainment, ecotainment.
Let me put it this way. My belief is not on agro-tourism right now. You want to be focused on the science because we really have to be serious about really focusing on that. However, we do welcome students. There are tours actually from the educational institutions that go to our farm to teach the kids, and some of them have OJTs pa nga in our facility. No? So that's as far as tourism goes. But as far as putting up hotels inside or an Airbnb that you can experience the farm life, maybe not now.
Parang we need to do the work first, di ba?
Right.
Sir, you mentioned since andito na kayo sa industry ng dairy, yung honest reason bakit hindi nag-grow yung industry, why it remains 1% for the longest time.
Well, I think it's the same for any other agricultural subsector. And I will say it time and again. As a country, we have failed to adapt to technology and adapt modern farming practices. So, if a local dairy farmer with 5 heads, okay, remain to be at a state where the cows just graze there kung saan saan na damo, 10 liters per cow per day lang tayo. Diba? But if we invest in technologies and the best and the most modern farming practices, I think we have a chance. And I think that is the essence of when MVP said it's time for the private sector to really get involved in agriculture, and which is one thing that we are doing now through Metro Pacific Agri Ventures. And likewise, actually gumaganda na nga ngayon pag yung mga bata nakikita na yung facilities namin, may technology pala to, they become very interested in agriculture. They're finding it sexy again. Dati pag cowboy ka, tsaka farmer ka sa US, macho, pogi, sexy, di ba? Nawala sa Pilipinas yun di ba? And that's also because we failed to adapt to the technologies. Hanggang ngayon, magtanim ay di biro, mahirap, yumuko, blah blah blah. But if we're able to prove that it can be done through partnerships, not only with the government but also with other countries, I think we have a very good chance to show not only the Filipino but the world that the Filipino can, which to us is very, very important.
Thank you!
Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you so much po.
Sir, thank you. See you in March.
Thank you.
What's the name of your ano?
Thank you so much.
Alright, Sir Bimsy, yung event natin ngayon, actually?
Okay. Sir Buddy, maraming salamat sa pagpunta dito. At ngayong araw, nag-launch yung Carmen's Best. Kilala yung Carmen's Best sa ice cream po, di ba?
Yes.
Nag-launch po yung Carmen's Best ng milk line. So, whole milk, low-fat milk, choco milk, salted caramel. So, magiging available na po yung Carmen's Best fresh milk. Sa mga groceries, sa mga restaurants.
Yeah. Sir, I understand na na-acquire niyo yung Carmen's Best and it's a ice cream brand, di ba? So, nung in-acquire niyo, part talaga ng plan na mag-introduce kayo ng milk line?
Opo.
Fresh milk line?
Part po talaga. Nakita namin na sa Carmen's Best Ice Cream, naging napaka-popular niya. Over the past 2 years, nag-times 3 na po yung volume ng sales. At merong clamor na ice cream, kailan kayo magkaka-milk? So, eto na nga po, nilaunch yung Carmen's Best Milk Line. Dati po yung company, merong Holly's Milk. So, ngayon, we're going to call it na Carmen's Best Milk and with more flavors po.
Sir, kumusta? Gaano nakalaki yung production ng fresh milk so far?
Lumaki na po na since 2 years ago, times 3, times 4 na po. Kasi nagdagdag po kami ng mga baka and then we acquired a dairy farm in Bukidnon with 1,000 cows. At malaki po yung production capacity doon. Kaya mga times 3, times 4 na rin po yung quantity ng gatas. At maliban po kasi sa internal farms namin, we also source raw milk from partner farmers sa Batangas, sa Quezon, sa Laguna. So, patuloy po yung pagbili namin at pagsuporta sa mga local dairy farmers.
Sir, di ba ayun nga, matagal na pinag-uusapan niya, yung 1% lang yung production ng Philippines for fresh milk. No? Matagal na panahon yan. And nung kayo'y dumating, na-increase ba natin yung 1% so far?
I think
kayo yung reason bakit naging 2%?
Hindi pa po. I think hindi pa umabot ng 2%.
Okay.
No? But it's improving. Pero marami pong dapat gawin. Nandito din po kanina yung NDA Administrator, National Dairy Authority Administrator. And marami siyang magandang mga plano para ma-improve yung dairy industry ng Pilipinas. And we will be collaborating and partnering with the NDA po.
Sir, isang malaking tanong na bakit pumasok ang grupo ninyo, ang kumpanya ninyo into dairy? Ano bang nakikita niyong potential talaga? Kasi it's something na ang grupo nyo biglang papasok sa dairy. Ibig sabihin, may nakikita kayo doon.
Opo. Unang-una po kasi napaka-dependent natin as a country sa imported dairy products. We still import 99% of our dairy products from outside. So 1% lang na po produce ng Pilipinas. So ang laki ng potential. And second, the Filipino deserves fresh. Iba ho talaga kasi kung freshly produced yung gatas. Ang dami mga nutrients na nare-retain po. So it's part of the commitment of the MVP group to improve nutrition in the Philippines po.
Sir, yung 1% na yun yung na-identify na kailangan niya yung fresh milk. Okay, so 1% lang ang nasa-serve natin. Gaano kalaki pa dun sa population natin yung hindi pa marunong uminom ng gatas? And that will be a bigger potential.
Yes. Because in Southeast Asia, the Philippines has one of the lowest fresh milk consumption. I don't have the figures lang po, pero napakababa. So by continuous education, and we see it in the young people now, they're very discerning. Binabasa po kung ano yung mga nutrition content. So the young people now, the newer generations, the millennials, the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, they're very particular about the quality of what they consume. So dyan po nakikita namin malaki yung potential.
Sir, so far doon sa mga farms ninyo, ano na yung mga technologies na i-implement, yung mga bago?
Well, so far, may partnership po kasi kami with this Israeli group. It's called LR. At nakita po namin na sa ibang tropical countries like Papua New Guinea, nagagawa nilang 30 liters per cow per day yung productivity ng mga baka nila. Dito sa atin, yung average natin ay nasa mga 8 to 10 liters per cow per day. So malayong malayo. So unti-unti po tinuturuan nila kami ng proper nutrition, kung anong tamang pagkain para sa mga baka. And then may tinatayo po kasi ngayon na bagong barn under the joint venture with the LR group. Doon na po, doon na natin makikita, it's under construction now. Kaka-install lang ng roofing. Doon na po lalabas yung bagong technology ng mga Israelis. The design of the barn, the cooling systems, the fans, the misting, may mga mist sila. Para mas komportable po yung mga baka, pati yung design ng may mga beds ng mga baka. Yung isa pang gagawin namin ay yung Israeli partners namin are bringing in pure Holstein Friesian cows. So this March and April may darating po. And we think genetics will play a big role in improving the productivity po ng mga baka.
Sir, kanina doon sa press con, sabi ni Sir Jovy, sabi niya na ang plan is to make it 20%, no? Maging 20% yung production ng Philippines, no?
Yes.
So parang 19% yung ini-aim ninyo. Sir, gaano kadaming baka yun?
I don't have the figures lang, pero that's a lot of cows. At kailangan it's a concerted effort po talaga together with the NDA and with the other commercial farms and milk farmers. Malaking trabaho po ang kailangan gawin.
Sir, message po doon sa audience natin.
Hello, and sa mga followers ni Sir Buddy, maraming salamat po sa suporta ninyo. Please support Carmen's Best Milk. Many of you have been very supportive of Carmen's Best Ice Cream. Sana subukan niyo po yung Carmen's Best Fresh Milk. It's made from pure fresh cow's milk. At it's going to be available very soon in most supermarkets. And also in our stores, we have a store here in Rockwell, meron din po sa SM MOA, and then sa SM North EDSA. So please try Carmen's Best Milk.
Ayan.
Please support Philippine-made milk.
Yes, yes. Sir, sana ma-visit naman namin yung barn.
Opo.
Sabi ninyo.
Yeah, sa ngayon, under construction, kalalagay pa lang ng roof.
Okay.
Maybe mga March.
March then.
Kasi March yung target date sa pagdating ng mga baka. So that would be a good time na rin na makabisita kayo
Yes, sir.
at muna na.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much po.
Thank you so much.
Agribusiness merch is now available on Shopee and Lazada. Agribusiness, how it works. Instruct, inspire, succeed.